Kimberly here with Knit for Brains. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited. While we were gone on our trip, my buddies over at WeCrochet sent me some new yarn to check out. This is new on one of their lines called Dilly Dally. So stay tuned. We're going to see what this is all about. Oh my gosh, we were gone for quite a while. And my friends over at WeCrochet said, hey, you know what? We got this great new yarn. It's called Dilly Dally, and I want you to check it out. So they sent me some. Now, it says WeCrochet, it says KnitPicks on it, but we know it's one and the same company. I was like, yes, please. And I said, I love jewel tone. So this is what they sent in. Absolutely love these colors. Oh my gosh, this yarn is so soft. So let's take a look and see what it's made about. So it's called Dilly Dally. It is a DK weight. This color here is called Marina. So each little ball is 109 yards and 30 grams. The content is, it's a weight of a 3. The content is 70% Pima cotton, 20% bamboo, and 10% hemp. Now, you know, I love my natural fibers. Love to work with my natural fibers. The Pima cotton gives it this really nice sheen, if you notice that, really soft, along with the bamboo. Bamboo is a very sustainable yarn. With the cotton. Cotton can be a little bit stiff sometimes and has a lot of structure. The bamboo has a little bit of that silky, but the Pima cotton specifically has a lot more of that sheen going on. So combining the Pima and the bamboo gives it this really beautiful kind of a sheen going on. But also it's so soft. And then it's got the 10% hemp, which is a natural plant fiber. So the combination of all of these together is really, really interesting. Absolutely loving this stuff. So Dilly Dally is actually a new yarn line for KnitPicks and WeCrochet. It comes in at $7.99 per ball. And again, those balls are 109 yards. But it comes in, it says Dilly Dally is a breathable, silky soft DK weight yarn made from a premium blend of plant fibers. So that's the cotton and the bamboo and the hemp. The Pima cotton brings in the softness. The bamboo adds drape and sheen. We know that when you knit up or crochet something with bamboo, it's going to give it that really nice drape. And sometimes if you use just 100% bamboo, it gives too much drape and it hangs. That cotton is going to give it a little bit more structure than just the bamboo alone, which I absolutely love. But being that they're using that Pima cotton, that's bringing in that sheen as well as the structure, really tying in with the bamboo. And the hemp is giving it strength and structure as well. They're dyed in vibrant gemstone-inspired hues. This lightweight yarn is sure to become one of your new feel-good for the summer makes, from color for tops to making bags and market wear and baby wear and things like that. Now, being that I live in Southern California, we kind of can wear summer all year long. Yeah, sorry. So I can make something with this and it'll actually last me like all year long. Now, whether I want to make a bag or whether I want to make a top, I'm not sure yet. You will wait and see. But it's going to have to be a combination of all of these colors. It says here, because it's a cotton blend yarn, you can expect a 5 to 10% shrinkage in the length of your finished fabric. We recommend preparing a gauge swatch and then washing and drying with your intended care methods to check the shrinkage and gauge before you're. That's because of the cotton kind of bringing it all together. So let's go ahead and give this a try. So I'm going to be using a 3.5 crochet hook with this. Let's do a little bit of a pull, see what we come up with. I love the feel of this. I absolutely love the feel. I love that WeCrochet, they come up with some really interesting combinations. I love that they use a lot of the plant fibers. But like they have the some of the natural, the recycled fibers that they do with the alpaca, and I really just love it. So let's just go ahead and do a little swatch, see how it works out here. Again, I love Pima cotton, but sometimes that can be a little bit hard to work with. So working here with the bamboo gives it that good structure. And again, I love working with bamboo as well, but sometimes that can be, the drape can be just a lot. And it can also snag. I've worked with some 100% bamboo products in the past. Haven't been super thrilled with it just because it tends to hang. And so any garment that you make that's 100% bamboo, you're not going to be able to keep the structure of the garment. It's just going to hang and drape on you. So you're going to have, for bamboo, you're going to have some kind of a blend and cotton and or hemp is a great combination to do with that. Love how it's working up. It's not splitting. The fibers are really good structure. I'm not getting any splitting here. It's very easy. I think a 3.5 is a good hook to go with on this one. So it's interesting that they talk about the shrinkage. Again, that's probably because of the cotton. So doing a swatch and washing it is definitely interesting. I haven't done a lot of that. As you know, I'm not a big fan of making gauge swatches, but I do understand the importance of it. So I do make sure that I do my gauge swatch ahead of time. So for those of you that are interested in looking, it's interesting that the yarn kind of curled up on me. I'm sure it's actually going to straighten itself out. But for those of you that are interested in a nice yarn for like a summer garment, you might be looking at something like this. And again, with that bamboo, you're going to get a beautiful garment here that is going to give you just a little bit of drape. So if you want to do like a tank top, or I wouldn't even do a cowl because we're talking warmer weather here. So a great little macrame bag would be great, or like a granny square bag rather. And again, it's not going to hang too much because of the cotton and the hemp are going to give it that structure. I really love how this is working up. Gosh, you know, there's just some yarns when you're working with it and you're just like, oh, I love the way that this feels. I was working with a yarn recently and it was a wool and it had some acrylic in it. And I got it in the UK and it felt okay, but it had this really nasty petroleum smell. It smelled like oil, like crude oil, petroleum. And I was like, I don't even. So it's just, and of course, let me just, yeah, no smell, no smell. And sometimes yarns have kind of that weird, it's almost like it's kind of squeaky. And I don't know what it is about it. It's got to be some kind of a chemical or something that they use to treat the yarn. I don't know what it is, but it's one of those things where it's almost like nails on a chalkboard where you feel like, well, I have a hard time breathing. Have you ever had that happen where you're like touching something and you're like, can't breathe? I don't know. Isn't that crazy? You should have a warning label or something. I'm not getting that on any of this. I'm actually really enjoying working with this. It's really lovely. Very soft. Not splitting, which is really nice because sometimes you can see the splitting. I've had splitting happen with bamboo, with some bamboo yarns, and I'm not getting that at all with this. What a joy to work with. And it was curling up, but that's starting to flatten itself out. So what they're going to do is they've sent me these gorgeous colors. This one here is called, Rouge. This color here is called Rouge, kind of a warm pink, if you will. Not really a heathered pink, not a super, super bright pink, a little bit more of like a muted pink, maybe like a carnation. It's called Rouge. Really think this is gorgeous. Love this color. Yeah, I could see myself going, well, you know what? I just need more balls of this. And I know it's a little bit more on the pricier side. You go, $7.99 a ball. But again, we're dealing with natural fibers. There's no acrylics in here. And I have no problem with acrylics, as you guys know. But when you're dealing with those natural plant fibers, you know, it's a little bit more on the premium side. Lovely, lovely yarn to work with. Really pretty stitch definition as well. Let me just finish this row and then I will show you what I've got and then we'll talk about some of the other colors. So again, this is called Dilly Dally, brand new from KnitPicks and WeCrochet. And it's all a natural fiber, 40% Pima cotton, 40% bamboo, and 20% hemp. So it's interesting that each one of those yarns, when you work with them independently, 100% Pima cotton can be a little too slick sometimes and can actually have some stiffness to it. 100% bamboo can be a little too slippery and doesn't seem to tend to hold its shape. And sometimes 100% hemp can be too stiff and structured. So the combination of the three of them together, I think that's a really great, it's a win in my book. So there's my just a little bit of a swatch. But you can see how I'm getting some really pretty stitch definition going on here. And some pretty sheen also in the yarn. You can see that would be absolutely lovely for like a summer top, something along those lines. All right, so this is Rouge. Then this one here is called French Lavender. These colors are jeweled tones, but there's a little bit, this one is pretty bright. That is pretty much true to the color that I'm seeing, that you're seeing there in the camera. French Lavender, I wouldn't even say it's muted. It's more of a real, like a royal jeweled color. This one here is called Navy. Really pretty, lovely. It's a little bit brighter in the camera. It's a little bit more muted. Definitely a navy color in person. This one is called Lilac, lovely. And this one is called Marina. So a little bit, not a Kelly green, a little bit more of maybe like a deeper teal green along with that. Now, I just said I liked the jewel colors, but the other colors that comes out, that they've come out with this are, so they actually have 16 colors in this skein. So we've got cornflower, which is that really like a cornflower blue, that blue kind of a grayish color. Then they come up with a navy, and then the Marina. Shoal is a little bit more of a deeper green. Think more like kind of an evergreen with some blue undertones to it. Bracken is what I'm calling almost like a mustardy yellow kind of a color. Yellow. Emerald, an emerald green. Semolina is kind of a warmer yellow, pretty. Sweet potato, and then there's Serrano. Rouge. Sweet potato is kind of an orange color. Serrano is a really deep kind of a blue red. French lavender, I showed you, lilac, and then they come in with the copper, which is a deep rust color. Oatmeal, bear, and then gray. So bear is going to be your natural, and then gray. So beautiful colors. I love the jewel tones that they sent in. Really, really pretty. And there's no real, there's no patterns yet. There's no reviews. I'm going to review on this one. I'm going to say this is a big old win for me. Absolutely love it. So if you're looking for a really nice warm weather or summer yarn to try out, you could also do this for babies, would be great. But you know, treat yourself, make yourself like a cute little spaghetti strap top, something along those lines. Even like a little granny square top. I could probably make enough with all of this and make a really cute little granny square top with this. So this is my review on the new Dilly Dally yarn from KnitPicks and WeCrochet. It's a DK weight. Again, this comes in at $7.99 per ball, and it's a weight of a 3, 70% Pima, 20% bamboo, and 10% hemp. I think I actually said that wrong earlier. I think I said 40 and 40, and I correct myself. I apologize. 70% Pima cotton, so it's mostly cotton, 20% bamboo, and then 10% hemp. So you're getting a really beautiful product here. Definitely a hand wash and a dry flat. But yeah, it's a big win in my book. Very, very soft, and it has a little bit of a luxurious feel going on. Thanks so much for watching, and thank you WeCrochet for letting me check out your brand new Dilly Dally yarn. I'm a fan. This is Kimberly with Knit for Brains, and as always, I'll see you soon.